record this call?
I was just doing it.
Beautiful.
Okay, so I haven't set up anything in Monday yet, and all I did was I have chronic jet lag. I have not been outside since I got home, and my brain doesn't know what the frick to do. So by 8 o'clock at night, I am so dead tired.
Yeah.
And then at 4 in the morning, I'm like, wide awake.
That's not so bad.
I know, but anyway. So I sent you this at what, 5:34 this morning. That's like I wasn't expecting anybody to.
Oh my goodness, that's
I
so
hope I didn't wake anybody up. But
no, but waking up to like notifications, there was 9 of them, and I'm like, shit, don't look at them yet, Erin. Wait till.
Yeah. Don't start your day with stress, right?
I just want to start off by saying I don't want to put another monkey on anybody's back. This is not me downloading responsibility and walking away. This is just me being much more aware of where we're at. And I just can't do it all. And I know as a team, we're much stronger than me just saying, I need this, I need that. So what I want to be able to do, and that's the list that I had, was let's just talk about just what we can do 2 months from now.
Sure.
And also what 2020 looks like from a marketing strategy, because obviously I am not on stages in the United States. You know, shit happens, and it happened. And I don't actually think it was my fault in the end, because it's happening to everybody. So the reality it is, I am the social media guy telling everybody that you can get all the business you need online, and I'm relying on being on stage to get all the business. So this is kind of like a work in progress, and like I've done before with my 90-day challenges. Maybe we document this. Maybe we say, you know, here's our premise for 2020. You know, we're a multi-million-dollar company, and most of our new leads have come through live speaking. And we're going to spend a year seeing how we do that without live speaking, rather than saying, I don't know.
I don't know, because I think what you've found is the combination of live and real in-person connections, and then you nurture them on social. I think that's a winning combination.
That is a huge part of our success.
I think we could clarify.
Everybody that I meet, like even George, when I met him in London face to face, he said the weirdest thing. He said, I feel like I have known you for years, and I have the highest trust because I really feel a connection point. He's never met me, never heard me on stage, never been to an event with me. It was purely through Kim and Paul's referral or whatever, but yeah. So that's kind of cool. So that's kind of where I'm coming for this. And obviously we have 4 courses already. We have strategy sessions. We have VIP titanium. We could look at different group programs. So that's on the table. And then the way we can also generate income or leads, if you like, is through a podcast, through multiple blogs in a book, basically, and then through affiliates. And I haven't done a great job of any of those, although I'm perfectly capable. And I know most people in the course world get a lot of their business via affiliates rather than their individual lists. And a lot of people love us. I mean, a lot of people love us. Not just Debbie and I, but you guys. And as a team, we get a lot of respect and love. And I just know that there is so much more untapped potential, and we just need to be ahead of the game rather than reactive, and just talk that through. So when I said, I want you guys to sort of hold me accountable, I'm not sort of saying that I'm putting you under pressure. I just know that as a team, we can create so much, and we do create so much. And now we just got to shift and keep creating, but leveraging what we already have in place. Because when I look at like Social Media Bootcamp, they've always filled because of a Lisa event or a Augie event or a Debbie Sardone event. That's how I filled them in the past. When I look at the VIP titaniums, they're typically through people, almost exclusively through Sassy or Kim and Paul, through our email list. Actually, Erin and I nurtured Kim through email, so we know it's doable without Sassy. And then the other piece that I've talked about a lot is is getting me on a podcast. I mean, I could do the shaving vlog every single week and they're really good quality. Why we haven't turned that into a podcast and published, F only knows. I guess it's me holding myself back. So basically I am removing the kimono, let alone opening it, and just letting you guys beat me up, tell me what I need to be doing, where I am best spending my time, and then telling me the resources that we need, and it could be more than we have already, to actually put this stuff in place. Does that sound?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
Yep.
first of all, stop flashing. No, stop flashing that kimono everywhere.
I'm just being honest. You know, so when I look at, obviously, the tools that we have is we have two websites. The my branded one, the jonathanchristian.ca or .com, haven't really touched in months. Really, I mean, in many ways, I haven't really touched it since we built it. I've tweaked it a little bit, but that really is a speaker site. We haven't done the sizzle reel because I didn't get the videos from Sassy and I didn't get the videos from the Seattle. And I keep asking, but we just haven't got them. So maybe I need to task one of you as a bulldog to sort of just, because they were promised to me and they exist. We just don't have them. And then we have this great guy called Nick that I'd love to work with and give him that raw material. And because if you look at Mark Schaefer's new speaker reel and website, it kicks booty. Yeah. And we're not far away from doing that. I just need to get those sizzle reels. And I've got so many pictures of me speaking that we could work on that messaging. So that's one thing with the speaker site. The second piece to that is Arnhem's done a lot of research around the podcast. I got a commit from Lou Mongello that if I come back to him within 30 days with a date to interview, he will do that just to get my podcast like out on the road. And I have about 25 people I'd love to interview. And but then when I spoke to Chris Ducker, he said his podcast was way better than it was just him than when he interviewed people, even Vaynerchuk. You know, he said he's got twice the listeners when he was giving sage advice. And I shared something this morning. This lady was, who I don't know at all, but I love the premise. It's like, I'm going to give away some free coaching and you can apply for a free hot seat. It's like, I do that every flipping week.
And you know what? I've listened to some that I think are really effective where they do the hot seat on air as the podcast. And it's like, you're listening to this genius happen. Of course you want to sign up and get your own.
Yeah. So we could do that.
I think interviewing is so good because it builds your network too. Like Tyler Basu, he met all these people when he did his podcast for years. Every week he was interviewing someone and now he's got all these connections everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have some amazing affiliates who love us. And we really didn't got one affiliate sale out of the last boot camp, which was like, I don't know. So it wasn't that they didn't send us the people because we had like 500 people register. Maybe I didn't do a good enough conversion piece, or maybe I missed a whole piece of the strategy. I don't know, but we've got people who are happy to write for us and go out there for us. And then obviously the book that I need to write, which is half written in my brain already. And I got to free up some time to just focus on some of these things and just turn them around. Mm-hmm. So that's all the Legos, if you like, in the box. Don't want to stand in anything and make it hurt my foot, and I've got some amazing people right in front of me who know me for who I am intimately in a non-naked way, Lindsay. So let's it's insanity expecting me to do things differently, doing things the way I've always done them. And I got you guys right in front of me. So let's just think about how best we turn this into a strategy. And I'll shut up.
Can I just say one little thing? I want to hear everyone else's opinions, but the ideas in this Slack thread, I think one big thing is looking at what we're already doing, like you just kind of said, and how we can do it better and make more of it instead of completely finding a different strategy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just had a call with Jennifer Conaway, who just did our boot camp, and I asked her for honest feedback around the social media boot camp and just how it came across. And I just spent 40 minutes on the phone with her today, and she just, seriously, it's probably one of the best courses I've ever been on. And she said, you said it in week 3, you just said, there is no script. I just do this out of pure passion because I love that. She said, have you any idea how unique that is? She said, I couldn't do that. I couldn't say I'm so passionate about something, I could just teach it without a script. And you can. And she said, you give so many nuggets per hour. It's unbelievable. So she said, it's almost like overkill with how many pieces of advice you give. And that, so she said, that course is not out of date by any stretch. It's beyond good in her opinion. She wasn't just blowing smoke. I mean, I genuinely said, tell me exactly what you think. And she said, this is a fundamental course that so many people should be doing.
Did she send you the list of, did she send you her notes or her observations or anything? Because each one of the things she writes could probably turn into content.
Well, I had Liv do that. I had Liv go through 5 weeks and literally type every single nugget that I came up with. And we've got those in 5 Word docs. How we utilize that, maybe as a second worksheet or something, because the worksheets we have are old. And
they're just basic.
And they're basics, but they're needed. But maybe the nuggets come after they've watched the video, and then it's a checklist of, you know, or maybe we pull out all the video pieces, or we pull out all of the content creation pieces and double down on those. I'm not sure yet, but I do have 5 working docs from every nugget that I say.
Can you share them with me?
Yeah, they're in they're Google Docs already. Liv wrote them. Did you just share? I thought I had shared them.
I'll ask later. It's fine. We don't have to do it right now.
Okay. But yeah, I can. Okay.
Erin, you unmuted yourself. Did you have something?
Oh, I have my son who's just come in the door. We went to ortho this morning. He has rubber bands on. He's eating lunch right now, so I'm having to multitask my brain at the moment. But I want to be able to have the floor at some point to talk about what I want, what I think about this strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm much higher ticket than most people, and I've never had a problem knowing my worth and my value. But doing this $397 Black Friday price, I've never done before. I'm curious as to how that's going to be received, and we don't really have a mechanism to roll it out, even though it's like a week on Thursday. We need to have it ready by, or week on Wednesday. So that's another piece that could sell us a ton of people into the next boot camp, or a handful. I don't know.
Okay. One thing that I noticed with your shaving chronicles that would make them stronger for content or for a podcast would be to have a bit more of direction on what people are going to get this week. Even if it's just your thoughts on life, that's great. But sort of like, what's the topic? What's the takeaway every time would be really cool. And then when you go into podcasts, they're not just stream of consciousness. They're much more, people understand why they're listening.
Yeah.
And if we could come up with a, I mean, we've done it before, a list of topics.
Yeah.
That work for you. That'd be cool.
Okay. I could totally do that. Because quite often I'm in the shower and thinking like, well, what am I going to talk about in 5 minutes?
Yeah. And if you knew ahead of time, and you can still bring your other stuff in, but if you knew ahead of time where you were headed, it might be good.
Totally. Yeah, we could do that. So almost like when Anna and I plan out the month's calendar, and we have examples of each of the national days and stuff. Yeah.
I would love that. And sometimes it could be like behind the scenes. Like it'd be really cool to say, this week we launched this website, or we did this, and this was kind of how it went. And now we're waiting on this result, or like some of that could be really fun.
Okay. Yeah. Because Jeff Walker did that with his product launch. He did a lot of behind the scenes videos leading up to the launch, and they were very, very good. Yeah. Okay. Melissa, what's your thoughts on, let's focus on the Black Friday piece.
When do you want that live? I didn't have it ready to go live until next Thursday.
No, that's quite correct. I mean, should I do a video? Should I do a Shaving Chronicle, a video about launching the bootcamp Black Friday deal and have it in a video on the landing page? Should I do it just from here? What should I have on that video, do you think?
Do you get how has your response been to the Shaving Chronicles?
I mean, I haven't boosted them at all. I mean, a couple that I have boosted easily get over 1,000 people, and I think I have 9 people live on it. But they're friends. I mean, typically I broadcast on my personal page and then I go share it to other platforms.
Would that be of interest for women though, or is it mostly exclusively men that show interest in it?
It's probably 95% women.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
They want to know how to get rid of that peach fur or something. I don't know. It's more listen. It's not the shaving piece. It's more of the fact that
You're talking about something while you're doing it right.
Yeah.
You should shave your legs. Just kidding.
April 1st. Come join Jonathan as he shaves his legs.
not going to happen. Queenie Tan said she would do that, but yeah, no.
Well,
I mean, it has legs, but it hasn't monetized by any stretch, and it's just something that happened, and it's just stayed, really. But when I spoke to Lou Mongello about it, he went, "That is freaking genius.
mm-hmm.
That is actually something really quite unique and different, and you could do really well with that."
If you haven't actually used it, if you've only used it personally and shared it, and yeah, I think I would try it for the Black Friday and see how it goes.
Okay, so would I do that then on the morning of the 28th, which is your thing? Because obviously most of our business comes out of the US, but Canada too, and Canada's embracing your Black Friday a lot more.
Well, you definitely want to do it before that, because I don't know who's going to get the video up. But I mean, if you can get the video done, like the day before, then I can get it set up on the page.
Anytime, pretending it's the day, right?
Yeah, and then I can get it set up and ready to go for that Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. And I should do that on landscape then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I can do that. And then are we better to just do a knockdown simple price, or are we better to do a coupon showing people a discount?
I just have it like I've been doing it recently, where because it's scheduled to turn on the 28th, and then stop on the 2nd. Well, really they get it through the 2nd, and then the end of the 2nd, then it's turned off. So it just shows that the early bird coupon's applied, and it shows their discount, and then that's only
So they don't
that time
need
frame.
a coupon at all. It's already applied for them.
Yeah, it's already automatically applied.
Yeah. Okay.
You can say something like, "This is the biggest discount we've ever offered."
It is.
Like,
Yeah.
It really is. That's true too. I was looking at today.
Somebody about it yesterday, and he went, "You're selling it for how much?"
Yeah.
You're not doing a payment plan, right?
There's no payment plan. It's a one-time. Yeah.
A lot of times when people do that really deep discount, on the backside of it, they launch something brand new. So they're blowing out their older thing and they're bringing in something totally updated that you've never seen. So even if you buy the boot camp at the deep discount, the 2020 version is something totally different.
So are we selling them just access to the Academy for that $397 so they can get the last one that we did? Or are we giving them access to the Academy and access to January, or just access to January with a few virtual coffees prior to?
I was just giving them access to the one coming up. That's all I've set up. Well, that particular campaign piece isn't actually done yet, but I mean, so far as for the winter 2020, but for the Black Friday, they get tagged for that, and they get put in a campaign theme. Here's your TBAs. Here's kind of what you can expect. Here's where you'll log in when it's ready, but it's all for 2020.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's up to you. I mean, if you want to give them. Okay.
Just that's what I had in my brain too. It's just,
okay. All right.
When I spoke to Jim and Lucas, our friends at Visify, they just said, you are leaving so much money on the table by not selling this course as an evergreen.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's always saying that. They're kind of.
And I've only ever done the course live deliberately so that we get a tribe each time, and we get accountability, and we get momentum, and it does work.
Mm-hmm.
But
there could be like the evergreen option.
There could be, yeah.
The guided option, which could be a lot more valuable.
you could actually kind of pump up this particular 2020 and then make it your future evergreen. So just kind of put a bunch of pizzazz in this one coming up. That way it can be turned into an evergreen product.
I totally agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
January 2021. Sorry, I just have to close my door. One sec. Okay. So would we give them anything in between Black Friday and January 20th? Or would we just give them a say
I have an idea. I have an idea for that. When they buy the boot camp on the Black Friday sale, what about a thank you page that pitched them the Jumpstart Guide plus a call with our team? It could be a group call where we go through the Jumpstart Guide with them and make sure that they've implemented all those pieces. Then they're really good to start the boot camp as a possibility. Because we've talked about monetizing the Jumpstart Guide with a little bit of coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would work, except unless you got like 300 people signed up, then that might be a problem.
I'd love to have that problem.
But you'd love to have that problem, right?
Right? And then it could be, you don't have to necessarily say it's one-on-one. It could be
a group. Okay, yeah, all right. That would work.
And do that in early January or over the holidays, or?
What if it was prior to the boot camp?
Yeah.
In December?
In January? I think December we're filling up.
Oh yeah, we don't have boot camp dates yet. I was just, yeah.
I think it's going to start approximately January 20th, that Tuesday.
That's what I had in mind too.
That's the date that I looked at.
Yes, I've been tasking Ariane to follow up with you guys about dates.
January 21st.
January 21st?
Yeah. I did message Susan Elford to see if she actually wants to do public PR again, and she said, call me and we'll talk about it. So I'm pretty sure she'll do it again, but I've got that just down as spring 2020 right now. I don't have a date for it.
Okay.
We have to be careful because if we're selling that 4-pack and she doesn't want to do it, we have to change that.
Yep. And I haven't sold a 4-pack particularly since it started, which we should, because it's a really good deal.
And that's another upsell. Yeah.
Okay. It is, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I don't mind doing a Jumpstart Guide live. That's totally doable. We could do that early January sort of thing, get them warmed up, and then give them a couple of virtual coffees in January beforehand.
I could start them in January for virtual coffee. Okay.
What kind of a price I think it would depend on the group, what format it was, but what would we were originally talking about a one-on-one with the Jumpstart for $300, but if we're doing a group, do we want to make it cheaper and then it's just higher volume?
So I've got the Black Friday price of the bootcamp at $397, right?
It's pretty low.
So that's, yeah, I mean, that's,
so in addition,
I know other people sell courses at like $49 or $29 or $7. I mean, that ain't gonna happen.
No.
Ever gonna happen for me.
But if it was just a VIP upsell for $199 or something, $197.
Can I jump in? I just want to jump in now before we go any further. Just to kind of like, I thought a lot about this and just over the experience of working with you guys as a team in the last year and going through the boot camp rigmarole and then the bundles and then the masterminds, the virtual coffee. Like we have a lot of different products and a lot of different things happening at a lot of different times. And I find that that's where.
Oh, so, Erin, can I just stop you for 1 second? I have a question for Lindsay.
Sure.
Thursday or Friday?
Let's leave Thursday. I'm just on the fence. I throw a penny in the air.
It's up to you, but.
Okay, give me a moment. 12 seconds. Yeah, let's just leave it.
Leave it.
I don't know. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, Erin, I didn't mean to stop you. I had a question.
That's okay. Yeah, I was just, sorry, that just.
You're rigmarole.
Yeah, not the rigmarole, sorry, I just mean the whole process. what I've observed over the last while is that, you know, we have so many products or different combinations of products. And ideally, Jonathan, I talked to you before about how, you know, you not having that stage anymore down in the States to talk on, but yet you're so good on camera, and the way that you come across, that is what infects people and gets them excited. And if we had, I mean, right now, talking about podcast and a book and that, those are definitely products that that we've been talking about and to work on. But I think there needs to, like, we need a funnel. Sorry, when I get interrupted, I lose my, it totally throws me off.
Okay, you can take a minute too if you want.
Yeah, I really love what you do. Like, I think we just need to simplify everything and create one big, focus on one main product that combines, like whether it's a bundle. I really love the boot camp, the power content, and then the third piece, whether it's, you know, if it's not public relations with Susan this year, or you know, whatever that third product is. But the bundle price, like when you came up with the $397 for the Black Friday, that's a magic number in my mind. And what I wanted to see, and what I think could happen right from the get-go, is instead of focusing on all the extraneous pieces, which can come and will come and are important, right now you need to get butts in the seats, promoting what your biggest cash flow money maker thing is. And what I've seen is, you know, we all kind of try to rally at the last minute or get together and figure out the game plan. But if we have a templated recipe that we just drive out continuously the same way each time, and try that in this upcoming year, and that is promoting it on Instagram and Facebook, where we put together like your commercial, so to speak, or that video with you talking, maybe segue to some pictures of you live on stage, have some fancy copies, you know, some wordings, but why they need to know what their social media game plan is for 2020. We've got a recession coming up, you know, what's going to be most, if you're in this type of business, or if you need to know, like, whatever that message needs to be. But I think that seeing you and those ads repeated and following the model where once you get them registered, you explain what the programs, you know, what you normally do, the pricing for those, but then you offer that one-time price where they can get them all for $397 right now. You get, you know, 50, 60, 100 or more people in those seats for January taking that boot camp, or sorry, signed up for this. Then once you're in those boot camps, then you're promoting, you know, I mean, they get all three, but they're going to want more. I mean, I'm thinking in terms of the larger funnel that I mean, and these Black Friday one-offs or these group sessions where we give away free, but you give a lot of time and resources away, where I think you can just be marketing this thing over and over again, and everybody's ready for it now. Everybody needs it now. It's the main theme. It's what everybody's looking for. You offer those. You have those products built out. I've seen you. I've seen Lindsay. I've watched, and I know the value of those. But, you know, the volume that you need in order to sell, you know, and the amount of time and energy and resources we put into getting, you know, 15 of them sold, or we've gifted 5, or maybe we have so many people sign up but they don't even show up. If you price it lower and bring it to a bigger audience, we target those areas that your affiliates are in. For example, you can create that and set up those ads so that they're going to target and show in those areas, but just Instagram the shit out of it and show you talking, and it's, you know, and then get them in the room and then sell them in the room, and then they sign up. Everybody you capture it all in the one time, and you do that again and again. If you did that 4 times in 1 month, if you offered that you know, you could have 200, 300, 400 people. You know, I'm seeing it happening. I'm partaking in those. I'm in the back end, taking the program, watching what they're doing, watching how effective it is. And now is the time to kind of strike while the iron's hot. So that would be the biggest thing that I would focus on, is just creating it simple, like getting that simple. It's not simple, but you have all the pieces exactly, you know, the nurture sequence for that, getting it all done, and then blowing that out And then once that's going as a you know, this is your new thing, you don't have to worry about all the others, or you can focus on the other things after. But I think 2020 is a big year. And from what I've seen, things are just in different, we spend a lot of time in these different areas when we could just combine it all, focus it on one and plug that. And it's just getting you those videos or that message produced. What that little video looks like, you talking, the segues of you on stage, showing your credibility, talking about where you've been, what you've done this year, what's coming up, why they need to chime in on this free 1 hour, you know, it could be a 1 hour thing. And during towards the end of that 1 hour, it's like, normally these three items are X amount of dollars, X amount of dollars, X amount of dollars. We're giving it to you all today for $3.97. I think that's a magic. That seems to be the number that they're reducing their prices from, like between 4 to 6 times lower than they normally would sell them for, or less. You don't need to sell it for $45 or $49, whatever, but $3.97 I think is a magic number. It's a one pay, then they're in. But in those boot camps and power content, that's when they're going to know that they need help. And these are the US people that you want with the money.
We don't want that many people. You're talking about a better evergreen launch, which is brilliant, like totally great, wonderful idea. We've talked about it, we kicked it around. You're right to refocus on that. I don't know about reducing the price, although there is a way to do it, which could be we're selling them evergreen courses with less commitment on our part.
So when you say evergreen, I just want to be clear on what that is.
So evergreen is where they literally get into the academy and they can go through all the units and self-study. They would have access to come to a virtual coffee, but that's different than the social media bootcamp live, where they get 5 weeks of me delivering it.
Because it's a time commitment thing. Each person requires a certain amount of support. Even in the boot camp, they require a certain amount of high touch. So if you do a video series that they're buying, that's typically what's sold at the lower prices. It's not the highly coached programs, which is something that is what Jonathan's been talking about.
You're right. What about just the boot camp then? Or, I mean, yeah, there's whatever product you think is the best. I mean, I don't know. They have to have huge value nowadays for what they're getting. And half of them don't even finish, you know, I would say 3/4 of them don't even finish. So something that you got to check into, you're gung-ho at first, you do those self-help worksheets, etc. But the live trainings are really the most, what you get the most from. So if it's just one module, you know, whether it's boot camp or if it's power content, but getting Jonathan, promoting it, you know, on a video that you see coming up on Instagram, that's where I think people are going to register and want to be part of, you know, what's going on, and then offer that price in there and just keep running that and see how it goes, because we haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I love the idea of doing some branded promotional stuff. Like a video included is great, where there's, you know, mashing graphics for social. I think it's useful.
Yeah. But that would be for January, not for Black Friday, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that'd be more of a 2020 kind of. It wouldn't all be done right away.
Well, that's what you know, I'm thinking about, because aside from hosting a live event, Jonathan, and all the work that goes into putting that on, where people are coming to you, and I don't think BC is your market, because people don't want to spend the money, and they're really spoiled. Whereas in the US, they're like, they'll pay the money because they love the fact that we give them such white glove service. You don't get that. And then my last thing I wanted to mention, because Melissa, you mentioned today about a small sales team working on commission. I don't know if that's going to be an effect, and not to diss you, Melissa, at all. I know how it all works, because it's not just in your industry. We've approached it in other industries that I've worked on teams, and unfortunately nowadays, finding people locally or even virtually to do it just on commission, they have to really, if they're any good at pitching, marketing, and knowing what you do intimately, they're not going to want to do it for just commission.
They need a salary.
Yeah. And you don't, you know, and you won't have the time to like, they need to get to know you and know your voice and know what you like and have intimate.
Oh, yeah, I don't know a whole lot of, you know what, I have a client that has sales team, and She probably does pay them. I don't know that part. So that's probably true.
There are lots of tech companies that don't pay their guys, and there's a huge fight against that.
Yeah.
That's all I know. Yeah.
But I just really, Jonathan, I think you are you are the only person that infects people with the energy that you do. And if you can't be on a big stage live, we got to find a way to repeatedly get you in front of people.
Yeah.
He can have his own live, and people will fly from America to there. And you can also have a concurrent product that people can join your live virtually. I've had clients do that, and they'll have cameramen set up there. People can pay tickets to join virtually.
Yeah, I think that would be really effective because you can do an event in BC and market it to the States. And I know a couple of people in BC that do that, and they totally kick it. They kick butt.
Or just that could be part of the package that you're promoting on this. Once you get people registered and in your room and they buy, let's say, you know, whatever product that you think is the best one to promote, but then you can also talk about the one on, or you have or the thing is focusing on getting you at a live event. Maybe you just do these one-off live talks, right? And that's what you're promoting instead of the boot camp. And then in those live talks, you can say, here's what we have coming up. You know, our boot camp, you want to get in for this, or our power content, you want to get in for that. But somewhere where you can repeat the same model and keep it simple and streamlined and just blow it out.
Okay.
I think from what I've seen, people apparently listen to at least 7 podcasts a day, podcast listeners. It's kind of amazing. And in terms of, you know, a live event is going to be really effective, but maybe building up that brand a bit more
for sure, yeah.
With a podcast or something before we get to something like a live event, like maybe focus on a podcast this year. I agree with Erin on the Evergreen launch, but we need something kind of a bigger piece to build your personal brand. And I think that could be really effective.
I totally think podcasting has still got the capacity and the space to do that.
Yeah. And I've seen people use them really effectively without being slimy for lunches. And then they use them really poorly too, where it's like, I don't want to listen to this. It's all marketing.
When you say podcast, are you talking about just audio only? Or are you talking about more of like a Joe Rogan kind of thing where it's video and audio? Yeah.
Yeah, I think doing both could be really cool.
I think it'd be good. I would do both for sure. Yeah.
So then you need like a content plan. And I think that we really need to focus on like what are the things that will draw people into where we want them to go, like the boot camps and the VIPs and stuff. What are the things that our ideal clients need us to talk about?
Guest speakers.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I need to do this podcast. I feel it in my gut that it's a next evolution piece that will be so good. Because when I did that George Thomas one, I mean, he had 50 other episodes and he pushed to one side just because of me. I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah.
How are you getting exposure for it?
Taking the kimono off.
But I mean, where are you?
Live TV. Come on, Erin.
Got it.
Same thing though, just marketing it. Like what you're talking about is marketing.
Yeah. And then obviously with each guest that you have, they put it to their list, and there's a whole procedure to that. I know what that looks like.
Have you looked into doing a TED Talk?
You know, I was talking to somebody about that this morning, a TEDx talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really should do that. I'd like to do that in 2020.
Chilliwack just happened. There's also the social media camp. I know that it's just a little thing in Victoria.
Yeah, you know what? There's just something about those two guys that piss me off, and I can't get over it.
Okay. I just feel like growing your network locally again. The people
I agree. I totally agree. It's just, I don't like those two guys. They were very rude to me, and
yeah, fair enough.
And they've never really, I put a lot of effort into trying to do that for them, and it didn't come up.
But things like showing up at Steve Dotto's meetup, or I don't know, some things where you kind of connect again might be good.
Yeah, I know. There's actually a new eWomen chapter called Vancouver Metro, which is opening next week in Burnaby, but it's on Wednesday at 11 o'clock.
Oh, that's so hard.
Well, it's right in the middle of power content.
Yeah, darn. But it won't be forever.
No, I know. But yeah.
I was thinking about Lean In as a possibility too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to Black Friday. What do we need to do, Melissa? So I need to make a video. We got a $397 sales page that we're just going to change down. put the video into that, and then sell the crap out of it with some emails and some posts and so on, right?
Yeah. And I need to set up, I guess, a meeting in Zoom for your live in January. I guess I'll bug you about date and time in a little bit. Not today. I'll give you time to think about it.
All right. That works. Sure. Okay.
Or you just want to call it Jumpstart Live Guide?
Well, I was actually thinking about, and that's what I confused you this morning, because I was actually thinking about renaming our freebie Social 2020.
Oh yeah, that was really confusing. Yeah, but
it gives us a real reason for people to download the freebie, because it's a precursor to the Social 2020 talk that we're going to do on whatever it is December 5th, which is the next piece, which is a 12-month content lab. But I just figured if we renamed, I did ask Paige, she's got a slide, we just haven't turned it into like a book cover, and rename, and just, I had a quick look at the Jumpstart guide, and it's not that far away from what it should be anyway. Okay. But if we rename that and tried to push that back out again as a series of Facebook ads, and then say to people, we're doing this one-day lab that goes with that, I think that could work too.
I think we really need something to walk people through it, because a lot of our people don't know what they're doing at all. And that's not where boot camp starts. Like, I think that's really a missing piece, where it's just the basics, like make sure you have this, make sure you have that, really basic. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, ready for more. So
would we charge for that? Like a $29 or a $49, or just do it free?
I think free could be really powerful. What do you think? We were originally going to charge. What if we run it free once, and then if we wanted to charge in the future?
So are we talking the Jumpstart Day, or are we talking
Yeah, what are we talking about?
I was talking Jumpstart Day. What were you talking about?
So not the planning lab.
The planning lab was our VIP kind of half day. Is that what?
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about, right?
I was thinking that's charged. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yeah. I don't mind doing just the basics Jumpstart free. Why not?
That could even be a series of like 3 videos or something that you.
Because people loved the webinar that you and I did, and I thought how nice it would be if we did a webinar where we weren't actually selling anything, and we even said that.
Yeah.
This is literally a free webinar where we're just going to go through the basics.
Well, is it going to be a bonus then at that point for the Black Friday people if it's a free product?
Yep.
Okay.
So when would we?
So you want it to be a webinar now? Maybe thinking about it.
Probably.
Okay.
Hmm.
And that would be an early January thing?
Yeah, it would need to be.
With a chance for them to buy the boot camp if they had, for them to buy the boot camp. Would that be instead of the webinar for the boot camp, or as well as?
To me, that's more general nurture. It's kind of like growing the audience, making people think about you again as someone who brings value. And then the webinar for the boot camp, to me, is more a sales piece.
Okay. So the webinar probably could be January 14th, Melissa.
Okay, so we're doing 2 now. 2, one's going to be for the bonus, and then one's a webinar. Okay.
I think so.
So Jumpstart Guide webinar is when again?
I don't know.
Oh,
Free?
January.
Okay.
January. I don't know. January 7th. That's a Tuesday, because it's getting in the mind of what we do on Tuesdays. And then we'd have the webinar the following week on the 14th.
Yeah.
We're going to pre-sell the boot camp, and then the boot camp starts on the 21st. Does that work?
Yeah.
okay, so bonus for Black Fridays on the 7th, and then the webinar. Huh?
January 7th.
Okay, and then the webinar. Do you want that to also be a webinar or a meeting?
I think
the 7th one.
You have to try things. It's almost, yeah.
Let's do it as a meeting.
As a meeting, okay.
And we'll just cap it at 100, which is what the meeting is capable of.
Yeah.
And then webinar.
Open coaching, like free coaching.
Yeah.
And webinars January 14th.
Yep.
What's the times? Do you know yet? Or wait?
Well, we normally do it at 2:00, which is the time that I deliver the boot camp. But it doesn't have to be.
2 for both?
Mm-hmm. I like that. And then Erin, the stuff that you were talking about is really like a marketing plan that we could start putting into place, like a document with all the pieces and start to fill those in. It probably won't all be ready in January, but kind of as a, get a start on it. And then.
Yeah, one of the tools that they give us with this program is a template that shows those. And so I don't know if that's helpful, but it's something I could certainly share if it allows me to. But it's just, I mean, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid as much as I just see how easily Jonathan can do it. I'm like, oh my God, it's a no-brainer. Okay.
Also, I'm doing some training next month where they really get into funnels for marketing too. So we'll have a lot of.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what else have I got on my list that we haven't talked about?
Oh, just one more question. So just clarify, do you want me to, from here on out, you want me to start setting up the Jumpstart Guide meeting and webinar and Social 2020?
Yeah.
Because the documents are going to all change? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be useful to have Anam come in on your January 7th Jumpstart call, or if she was comfortable doing that or something. So there's another team member and you get that energy and to work with our team in there.
Anam loves being on camera, don't you, Anam?
You can see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite thing, but whatever adds value. I'd probably have to get some good training before to make myself as presentable as Jonathan.
You know what? Before I forget, I need to turn this into a story. Anam's in silhouette, but that's okay.
Witness protection program.
That's fine.
Smile.
Go this way.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
She is.
Okay. That works. That's great, actually.
But I did also want to say, I think it is a really good idea if we just focus on like one thing. And I think that podcast thing will be really good to actually get going. And if we could turn that into a video strategy as well, and then that could be a part of our social. Because if you look at like Marwick Marketing and Jelly and all them, if you think about it, they're not really doing much for their own social. They're only doing something as simple as creating one piece of content, and they just utilize it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And I think we're missing out on that, and we could, definitely do that. And with you talking now on there, I think it could be, really good. And especially if we line up the calendar and get guest speakers involved, it could actually be like really, really valuable for people to follow.
Yeah. And I don't think getting stuck on the idea of should I have guests or should I not have guests needs to slow down.
Just to get it in place to begin with.
Start having some guests and some days when you don't, and see what works better.
So I can get Marcus Sheridan, Ted Rubin, Lou Mangello, George Thomas. I mean, I can get all these people on that first show. I know I can.
Do it. Yeah.
So I will. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to chime in and quickly say, I just looked up the meaning of rigmarole, because Jonathan, you're the English expert. And I didn't actually realize that it meant what it meant. I thought it was just like a bunch of items together that were intertwined. I didn't know it was a bunch of nonsense. I'm like, oh God. It's all been going through my head since I was like, something happened here. I got to look up what that word means. So, okay, got it.
Oh, wow.
It was a creative word, so easy to remember.
I didn't know what it meant either. I've heard of it, obviously, but I've never used it.
Oh, yeah. For a minute there, I was like, oh God, Aaron, that was the worst word that you could have used now.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. It's all good. We love you. It's all good. All right. Do we have anything else to cover off?
I just have some minor things that we could do.
Yep.
I was thinking for like our LinkedIn, like all of our personal LinkedIn profiles, we could all make it so it's kind of cohesive. Now that we have those photos, we can all have those headshots added, and it kind of gives us all like a branded look. I think that It's just like more
I
of
would
a
love that.
thing that looks nice, really. But
So Ante started doing the new team page, Lindsay.
Yeah, he is actually doing it, but there's just a lot of projects on the go. But yeah.
Okay.
so I thought that would be good. And then the other thing, I'm not sure if this site obviously isn't fully finished yet, but I noticed that all the social channels are linked to yours, Jonathan, but maybe we could add ours in as well. Because, yeah.
How do you mean ours?
Like the We Make Stuff Happen one, now that we've got them like actually up and running.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have your Instagram connected, your Facebook, your Twitter, which is all we probably want there too, but also add in our own.
No, there should just be, you're right. There should just be the corporate ones. Otherwise it's too many, but yeah.
Okay. Yep. No, for sure.
Just Jonathan, you have quite a few followers on your personal JDGAM, but with our We Make Stuff Happen, we don't have a lot of followers. Like it's like 300 something or whatever. And Adam, you're doing such a good job. So would it make sense for us to link them right now while they're low in count versus the higher count social? Because I definitely look at that as credibility when I'm going to somebody's website and then I go to their, if you're a marketing expert and you only have 300 some odd followers in your agency, I'm like, I don't know if that's what we want to do yet.
I agree with you. It's so interesting. I go to social media marketing world and I see these world-class speakers and I look at the social and I'm like, I have more followers than you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to keep a We Make Stuff Happen Instagram separate to my personal one for strategy reasons if we ever sell the company. So there is a deliberate idea behind that HQ Instagram, but I typically do most of my stories on mine. Maybe I need to put more of an effort into the other one.
Is anyone actually like nurturing the follower counts and stuff like that? Like reaching out and engaging and doing all
I know I'm not. Are you on it?
I do a little bit. I mean, not all the time since there's so many other things going on, but I have seen that we're getting a lot of more local people following. Like our followers are growing, that's for sure. And it's a lot more, small businesses actually in Abbotsford, like a lot of like lash lounges, random stuff like that have been following us, which is good. Even LinkedIn, we've gained a lot more clicks and followers on there too, which is good. So I think slowly, and the good thing is with our Instagram, you can see now that I archive so many posts, like it shows that we started quite recently.
Yes.
So I think the follower count does still look good for the amount of us starting so recently.
Maybe we could put a push on for like the next 3 months to see how much we could grow follower counts too.
Yeah, start focusing in on it. Because I also like the idea of how like Jonathan showed me Marwick marketing and how they do like their JOMO campaigns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe in the long run, we can start strategizing like seasonal campaigns that we can do next year, starting next year.
You bet.
Cool. One thing is when you are planning with Autumn content, I would love to somehow connect that to bigger pieces like blog content or podcast ideas. So maybe we make the content discussion that you two have, maybe we make it a bit bigger and bring more team in, me or whoever.
You bet. Yeah, we could do December already, couldn't we? And then once we've got that as a working doc, we could share that out and then pick some blog topics.
Yeah.
She wrote a great blog yesterday about the new child protection with YouTube. All by her own.
Yeah, just a quick one.
That's awesome.
Okay.
What is it quickly, Anam?
So basically the US FTC sued YouTube, and then Google paid it though for $170 million because they breached the child privacy guidelines or whatever. So now all YouTube creators are required to set their audience to as their videos are made for kids or not. So they have like guidelines based on whether your videos are. So you have to set that for like your existing videos as well as future videos when posting now.
I'm glad. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. My son sees on the right-hand side when he's watching something his age. I'm like, how is this even, why is this happening? Yeah.
It's so shocking. Yeah. Everything's in fine.
Clickbait.
Like when we were kids, you like that wasn't even a possibility. You had to walk into like a scary looking room at the video store to see the stuff that they show our kids.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And they can't put ads or any recommended videos after kids videos either anymore, which is good.
Good.
Very timely. $170 million fine.
Wow.
Yeah. But I
But there's
think the
nothing to-
gaming industry, people are really mad about it because they
It's
cater
gaming.
to kids. Yeah.
Gaming. Yep. That's
It's
right.
going to affect them a lot more, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're at the hour.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Should we pick another date for our next meeting?
hmm
Is this something we should do like every month?
Well, you were saying every couple of weeks, though, Jonathan. Should it be every couple of weeks or once a month?
Well, every couple of weeks right now, as we're in that formative.
I think it's helpful. That way we all are on the same page if people
Okay,
are.
so today's the 19th. Black Friday is the 28th. Do we want to meet? Do we need to meet before that or the week after?
Let's just focus on Black Friday. So whatever Melissa needs in that time probably would make sense.
Okay, and then meet the following week, like the whatever that would be, the 3rd.
Okay, so we're going to do another one when?
December 3rd at noon.
Okay. Sure you don't have anything else in the...
Erin, are you able to send that out? And then I just don't
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on it. I can make it bi-weekly, like every 2 weeks. I can put it in there. That way it's saved as a spot, so that we don't book anything.
Love it.
Okay.
And then in terms of action items walking away today, maybe we could pop a few things up in monday.com. What are some things that we could actually create actual tasks out of? Like maybe.
Well, I've got to create the video for Black Friday for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get that landing page done for the Black Friday 397, haven't we?
Oh, it's kind of done. I mean, only thing I haven't done was add the product links because I just left the wait list form for now, since it's not. You know, I'm wondering if a separate page would be better now in hindsight.
Do you want to just like clone the page and copy it over? And
That's
do
what
it
I'm
manually?
thinking. Maybe just have one just yeah. Because I gotta cook Thursday. I can't get up and swap it out page stuff. So yeah, I'll just make a separate page that can be sent out.
Okay, or if you switch the layout, one of us could do it. If you saved the other layout and it's just, or if it's just modules, like you could just put in.
Yeah, well, right now I have the modules hit, like her original header is hidden, and I have the Black Friday header, and then I have the buttons are hidden for right now. I just need to put the Black Friday link product in there, so I can do that if you want to.
Yeah, put a list up and let's tag
Okay.
Paige and me, and then we can just do that.
Yeah, okay, that'd probably be easier than making the page. All right.
Yeah, and then we don't have a URL issue.
Okay.
And then what about a podcast shopping list?
Yeah.
Anna and I need to sit because we've got that. We've looked at that at length. We just haven't actually finished it. So we need to just go look at that again.
And then I got a podcast session outline. Like the first session will be this. Second
Oh, no, I
session.
haven't got that far yet. But
Why not?
that's something I can do.
And even just working on the 2-line kind of intro for, it doesn't need to be the vision of the podcast, but maybe what's your one-liner introducing you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
Those pieces that we could have in place sooner than later.
Yeah.
Is your site finished now, Jonathan, or is our site, like, when do we go live, or it's up now? But I mean, what's your site doing?
There's more to come with the team page and the blog layout, and then redoing the freebie and some other pieces. But hopefully in the next week or so, that'll all be complete, right, Lindsay?
The team page, definitely. Yeah, we should probably.
The blog layout we asked Dante to do as well, didn't we? But then I have to redo my about page.
The about page is based on content. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're focusing on Black Friday, then the planning lab, the half day, then the boot camp.
And yeah, Yeah.
So in terms of social, what can I do, or when should I start planning to promote the boot camp and the webinars? I feel like there's so much. So
I know.
Yeah, so it's a great question.
Well, let's just put a list together, and let's just maybe you and I can sit down tomorrow
Okay.
tomorrow afternoon and go through that.
Sounds good.
And let's just try and put it into the calendar.
Anam, can you share that with me once it's done?
You bet.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, all of us would be great.
Yeah.
I'm putting the action items or like the notes, like the dates that we talked about into a Monday board, and maybe everyone could hop in and make that work better.
Okay.
I just shared it with y'all. Great.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi.
You look angelic on him. The way the light
Pretty cool.
going up behind your head on the screen, it's like a Monty Python thing. I have to open my window. My office is cooking. So, yeah. Thank you, everybody. This is groundbreaking. We haven't done this before. I'm excited. Okay. Speak to you guys later.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.